Got it. And then the last question is the review of pretrial expert testimony. I'm trying to understand what we gain from this. Because I'm not clear on you spending $10,000, 30 days to actually review the pretrial test. What's the information? What's the goal on this one?
We haven't been through the information, and I'm not sure what you gain from it. I think the idea is that there were experts asked to review a whole bunch of conclusions and assumptions related to oil and gas production and the value thereof in the heat of trial or pre-trial, if you will. And I would just say this, their experts are legitimate experts, but the experts that are hired in a trial circumstance are hired to position damages or lack thereof in a way that supports their client. So, I think that's what you'd get as an evaluation of that kind of testimony. We're okay to do it. It just takes time and costs some money, and I'm not sure what you'd get other than our evaluation of experts paid to provide testimony as part of trial.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilwoman Berrigan?
Yes, thank you. I will start with the last topic that was just discussed on expert testimony. Are you aware, gentlemen, that there are approximately 11 pretrial expert reports?
Yeah, I think there's a volume of them. I didn't know there were 10 or maybe a little bit more, actually. Yeah, that's the quote.
And are you aware that some of those are from the oil company and some of those are from the city?
Well, exactly. Not only aware of, we would require that we read both sides of it. It makes no sense for us to review one side of the testimony, the expert testimony.
Are you aware that 10 of the 11 reports only conclude that Hermosa Beach oil recovery would only have 5.2 million barrels of oil extracted?
So we have to read it, and then we can, if you assign it to us, I'll tell you exactly what's in there. We just haven't spent the time on it.
So you're not aware of that?
I mean, we're generally aware, but I'm not going to give you any more comments on it because I really want to read it. It's pithy, it's conflicting, it's voluminous, and so, I can't draw any conclusion from what, this discussion would bring.
Right. And the only reason I ask if you're aware of it, because I think it sheds some light on the benefit in looking at it. And so I can understand if you're not aware of it, then it's hard to provide the benefit to the council to say why somebody might look at it. And in this instance is if the average from all of the experts, 10 of the 11, including both sides, is that there will only be 5.2 million barrels of oil recovered, then how do you get twice as much in your report?
Yeah, look.
And so that's just why.
Let me just stop you. I'll tell you why. I think that there's a lot of testimony there, and I haven't read through all of it, neither has Curtis. We'll go do that, and we'll provide you, as I said earlier, the value of our reading, expert testimony on both sides. I mean, that is not a statement of opinion. That's just a statement of task. You will get our review of expert testimony on both sides from experts that were retained as part of pre-trial trial activity. It's just a statement of fact. If you want to do that, we'll go do that. I have no bias in reading any of it.
And if I can add, I think in our very cursory review of the various reports, and I say very cursory, I think it's very difficult to aggregate the various reports into a single figure. The reports have different assumptions. They make different evaluations as to probable and possible recovery rates. They look at different technologies. They're made in different periods of time. So I think it's very difficult to lump them together. But if you like us, we are happy to look at them and kind of explain why there might be variances in those reports.
So if we vote this evening to have you review the expert testimony and you take a look at it and you see that even on the oil, the experts that were hired by the oil company only concluded that half of the oil would be recovered, and that causes you some pause, are you going to come back to us and say, we may need to reconsider these numbers? Or what will be the impact of what you find in reviewing those expert testimony? I just want to make sure if we're going to spend the money if you go out and you find that it causes some pause because, well, frankly, because 10 of 11 experts said we're only going to recover half as much oil as you have concluded in your report, are you going to come back here and tell us that there might be something that you need to reconsider?
We'll review the work. We'll give you our fair and even response to what's in there. And I don't think there's anything that's on the table or off the table at this point. I mean, I can see where you're going with it, but I don't have the luxury that you do. I haven't read it. We haven't started the analysis. The question before us is, will we read it and give you a fair evaluation of what's in it? If that's the question, the answer is absolutely.